Hello friends, welcome back to the Ray Moon Oracle. I'm Rhea and today we have a new reading that we're doing. So it's just a general reading for what do I need to know right now. We got 3 groups to pick from, so super excited. I've been like, these 3 cards I've had set out for literally like months. So I'm excited to do a reading with them today, so they'll be your ones to pick from as we're picking a group. So we're gonna have our 3 groups to pick from. We'll have some different cards in there, some oracle cards, a little bit of clarification with tarot. I'm still working on the exact structure of it, but we'll just kind of flow and see how it goes. But we'll get a reading for everybody today for whichever group you pick, and hopefully it'll help you out for just exactly what you need to know right now. When you're seeing this reading, it'll be a timeless reading that you can always come back to when you need to, or pick a different group. So when you are ready, hop over to the pick a group section. I'll see you over there. Bye. Hello, welcome to the pick a group portion of this video. So we've got 3 groups laid out for us today. We have group number 1, which is the golden egg, group number 2, which is the cosmic egg, and group number 3, which is the black egg. So I wanted these 3 cards from the animal spirit deck specifically because they're all spirit cards up here, and they weren't actually specific animals for when I was doing my animal spirit readings, the Animal Spirit Advice, the Animal Kingdom edition. With these 3 cards taken out, we had an even amount of cards for each of the different videos that I did, which were 5 total with 12 each, and these 3 were left over, and I was like, okay, I got to do a reading with these 3 cards. They are just obviously all connect with each other. They're all interesting energy and all 3 spirit cards, so it would just lend itself to a really good reading that I'm excited to share with you today. So just a little bit more information. We'll get into it when you feel called into whatever reading you're looking at specifically, but the golden egg is connected to the 4th chakra, our heart chakra. The cosmic egg is connected to the 7th chakra, our crown chakra, and then the black egg is connected to the 5th chakra, which is our throat chakra. So if you're feeling called to do so, or if that information helps you out for picking your group, there you go. So take a second, pause the video if you feel like you need to do so. Really connect with whatever energy you're feeling. Tune in with maybe the color, whatever color is catching your eye for this one. The environment maybe that the egg is around. We got kind of like a nest here with the golden egg. Of course, we have the snake with the cosmic egg, and then we've got this purpley kind of pink color around that's all like more shadowy energy with our black egg here. Pay attention to the egg itself as well. Obviously, we've got some like kind of dragony scales on the black egg here. We've got this rainbow color around the cosmic egg, and then this kind of geometrical pattern around the golden egg. So whatever you feel called to, pause the video again if you need to, if you need some extra time. But when you're ready, join me in your group. Timestamps will be down below. I'll see you there. Bye. Hello, group number 1, the golden egg group. So the golden egg here, this is one of the spirit cards in the Animal Spirit deck by Kim Krans, and this one is referring to our 4th chakra here. It's the 4th card out of the Animal Spirit deck, spirit cards specifically. And our 4th chakra, that is our heart chakra. That is our connection to our deeper in between. Like, it's the connection from the lower chakras to the upper chakras. So that's like all encompassing of the physical and the spiritual together. Our heart chakra also, this golden egg here, the golden egg imagery reminds me of the golden goose, right? The one that lays the golden eggs, or the goose that lays the golden eggs, and the patience that's required sometimes for that, right? The one who lets the geese lay the golden eggs keeps getting rewarded for their patience, rewarded for taking care of that goose, right? And this is the same kind of thing that we want to do for our heart chakra space, our heart chakra in general, where it's like, okay, we want to listen to our heart, or listen to our feelings, listen to our intuition, making sure we're cultivating our deeper aspects of ourselves, knowing deeper things about ourselves, right? Think about the nest here, right? And this egg being hidden in the nest. So we need to know all the pieces of the nest in here in order to get down to this golden egg and find it amidst all the nest materials here, right? So with golden egg here, for this group specifically, for what you need to know right now, we're definitely focusing on that heart space. So some deeper emotional things. We'll see how this pans out with the other cards for this reading, but this is something where it might be like a relationship, friendship, some type of interaction in a relationship with another person. So spouse, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner, other types of partners, friendships, parents, sibling, child, any of those kinds of things can all tie into relationships, of course, and listening to ourselves at a deeper level, our feelings, our emotions, our intuition. So first things we're going to do is we're going to get a Soul's Journey card. I'll pop our golden egg over there. So we'll see what we need to know and what this lesson is a part of, what lesson is involved in this. So Soul's Journey cards for group number 1, the golden egg group. What lesson are we dealing with? What lesson is this a part of? One card, please. Are you really sure about that one? So Empathy. Well, that makes sense for the heart, right? So empathy. I'm open to seeing both sides of a situation, right? So we got definitely that pink color, pink red color coming in association with the heart energy, right? The purple. So our purple here is tying into our crown chakra, the red tying into our root chakra. So of course that in between, that balance, that middle ground between the chakras is going to be our heart chakra there. So that connection to the both, that pinky color is going to be is present in the heart chakra space. Green and pink are usually the colors associated with the heart chakra, one being external love, the other being internal love. So that's very interesting that this is the main card, because that was the one that was just like kept sticking out for the deck, right? So we're working on a lesson of empathy. Whether it's going to be empathy for ourselves or others is yet to be seen, but it's talking about being open to both sides of the situation. So making sure we're paying attention to what is happening around us, looking at the bigger picture, right? Knowing everything that's involved in the nest of the golden egg over here. So that is our lesson card we're looking at now. So I want to get a card each from the Work with Your Light Oracle and the Starseed Oracle. These tie in with lots of bigger, deeper spiritual energy. And then after that, I'm going to grab an alchemy card, see how this energy is changing, and then we'll get some clarification with tarot, okay? So let's get this one next. The Work Your Light Oracle. Okay. Work Your Light Oracle for group number 1 here, the Golden Egg group. What do we need to know? What do we need to know? Thank you. Getting grounded, get grounded. So empaths, highly sensitives, and connect with nature. Okay. We'll grab that one, get that out, and then I'll double check to make sure my description is matching up. Let's get a Starseed Oracle. I usually like to read these two together, these two cards. So, okay. So Starseed Oracle for our Golden Egg group here. Group number 1, what do they need to know? What do they need to know right now? Almost. That is group number 1, need to know right now, the Golden Egg group. What do they need to know right now? Almost, it's thinking about jumping, but it's not quite there. What does the Golden Egg group need to know? Bottom card? Okay. Bottom card. That is Cracked Open. Rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. And interesting that we're talking about alchemy, because then let's go straight into that. Let me pull an alchemy card then. I think that's fascinating. Okay. Okay, alchemy deck for our Golden Egg group here. What do they need to know? The energy out on the table, if it's relevant for you specifically, alchemy, but what does the Golden Egg group need to know? Oop. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one, and there's 2 or 3 in that one, so we'll take the individual. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. We have, the void. Look how stark that difference is. Look at all the color and prettiness we have with our 3 up here and then the void down here. How fascinating. Okay. With the void here, group number 1, right? It gives me a very clear indication for kind of what's the energy that's taking place, what's going on here, our golden egg, right? So we're really dealing with heart chakra energy here, deeper in emotions and the ability we have in terms of empathy, right? So this is our lesson. Empathy is what we're focusing on, the lesson that we're learning and working through, right? And with these 3 right here are really getting to the heart of the matter, what kind of needs to be done, right? The void is nothing and everything all at once. It's that in between limbal space and the void, the hole, the opening that is here in order to be filled, not by like things that we want. Like you can fill holes, right? Fill a void in ourselves with distractions and things to numb it, right? It's like if we have this big hole in ourselves in our heart space, right? We are trying to fill it with other things versus what we need to actually do in order to give ourselves the capacity, the the empathy we need, right? We actually need to give ourselves this empathy here, right? So it's talking about cracked open and highly getting grounded, right? So somebody who is in your case, group number 1, somebody who has this highly empathetic nature to themselves, that you're very sensitive to energies and others and other people's emotions, right? And in order to work with this energy, it's very important to be grounded, to stay grounded, because if you don't stay grounded and know what your energy is, and this is where we start to get overtaken. We start to get overrun when we fall too far into empathy, and then it becomes its more shadow form and overtakes us, and then we are completely overrun. We're not sure of ourselves anymore. We're overrun by others' energies, where our energy gets taken from us, zapped from us. And what's really, really important actually here, what's the kind of the big thing we're looking at is this cracked open energy here, right? So the rock bottom, the surrender to the alchemy of life that's taking place here. We are hitting a point here with the void and this cracked open energy. If we think about, like, it's really like a shiny bright piece right here, but this void energy is what's in between this crack at the moment. This cracked open is actually supposed to be this void here. And this cracked open energy is what we're really trying to get to the roots of. We're really trying to get down through, right? We're searching through this nest over here of the golden egg, the nest that the golden egg is, and we're trying to find where this golden egg is. So we're cracking open everything, ripping open everything, trying to like dig and find and get deeper into all this energy, all these deeper pieces of ourselves, that things we know about ourselves, what we're trying to accomplish, what we are trying to work at. So for the void, I want to read the book actually real quick here. It says the void is a mystical riddle, and of itself, it cannot be understood by the means of alchemy, chemistry, science, or spirituality. It astounds the most adept seeker and humbles the philosopher. From the depths of nothingness, all feelings and possibilities are birthed. Behind the current of our material world, the power of eternal spaciousness is at work. This card may appear at times when something has been released, a relationship, a possession, a title, but the void is much bigger than any worldly entity. When an alchemist approaches the void, destiny shifts in the darkness. Like magnets, you're drawn to it as it is drawn towards you. Meditation is critical at this time. Just sit and breathe, get grounded, and surrender to the vastness. There is an electricity between you and the void that is sacred and timeless. From its center, everything is born, right? So in the void, the vastness of the nothing is where everything comes out of, right? That's why it's talking about the ether, the void here. So it's almost what I'm picturing here, right? And even pay attention to, like, the spirit card right here has this void almost at the top, right? That matches. The void energy is a little bit different there. If we're looking at like the other animal spirit, like another one of the cards, right? The spirit is like that just circle, and it depends on the color, but this one's purposely is this black. It is this void. So it's almost like this golden egg is sitting in the middle of the void. Here's what this is feeling like. And we're really, group number 1, this golden egg group, we're coming into this energy, this deeper spiritual empathic energy, where we need to give it to ourselves just as much as we're giving it to others. And the focus here is to really dive into this void energy, believing anything is possible, but doing it in a grounded way, because we know that we have this sensitivity here. We know you need to fill out with these sensitivities here to get down into this void energy. But at the same time, we need to come back and ground it in nature, right? We need to ground it into ourselves, into the physical, into our physical reality. And what this also talks about with our empathy card over here, this getting grounded, is to make sure that our empathy, our empathic nature, is not getting overrun by others, because we are going through such a deep process here with the void. It's almost even more important to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, taking care of our energy, taking care of our heart space, and everything in between, in order to allow this cracked open process to happen, to finish out, right? We're doing a process of surrendering. It might feel kind of like a dark night of the soul. That's what I'm kind of getting with the rock bottom energy and the void here, where it's like, okay, everything feels dark and deep and maybe a little scary, and there's just, you don't know where we're going forward. But as we're cracking open and working through this energy, working through ourselves, getting into ourselves more, giving this empathy to ourselves, we're gonna get to the point where the surrender energy helps transform all the rest of this, helps transform the whoosh, like it goes like this, like whooshes out and changes everything around it at the same time. And when we get to this, we are really going to be able to pay attention to what we're feeling, what we care about, what we love, what is in this heart space here, because we need to make sure that our heart energy, that heart chakra doesn't have this hole in it, doesn't have this void in it in a negative way, right? It doesn't have a void that we're trying to fill because we are not allowing ourselves to be empathetic and take care of ourselves in the way we need to. We're not letting ourselves take care of ourselves, giving ourselves the self-care we need, this gritting, grounded energy where it's like, okay, making sure we're getting grounded, we're clearing our energy, we are making sure that we aren't getting sucked in with energy vampires, that we're setting the boundaries that need to be set. Those are all things for getting grounded and taking care of ourselves and being a good empathic person, right? Somebody who has empathic ability, somebody who is highly sensitive. The way we develop those skills and are really, really strong in those skills is by making sure we are taking care of ourselves to a very, very, very high degree. Very, very high degree, because it's going to be important in order to keep growing the abilities that are here, right? And a continuous process of self-discovery at the same time as well with this cracked open energy. Cracking it open, making sure we're digging down deep into the void and the depths of ourselves. That way we know ourselves to the core and know when something turns wrong, right? That is when somebody is highly sensitive and empathic, you can feel that shift in the air, right? You can feel the shift in somebody's emotions. You need to be able to be so finely in tune to this energy with yourself as you are to others, because that is going to allow these abilities and gifts to keep growing, to get stronger, and also to give you the level of care and attention you need yourself. You have to give it to yourself in order to make sure that you stay strong, that you listen to yourself, that you are paying attention to your needs and giving yourself as much love as you give others. You can't fill others' cups from an empty cup. Your cup has to be overflowing and full in order to give to others. So we want to really make sure that the both sides we're seeing, right? The unbalancedness is coming where you're only seeing the one side, you're seeing the other person's side, and you're not paying attention to yourself in this energy. You're not paying attention to yourself. And it's going to be just as important, if not more important, to pay attention to yourself, your needs, what's going on with yourself, what you have going on at a deeper level, and taking care of that in order to keep growing this energy, okay? So let's get one tarot card just to see if we have any advice here. Any other advice? Obviously, we need to make sure we're staying grounded and really diving into this energy. Journaling is going to be very beneficial potentially for you. Group number 1, this golden egg energy. Therapy, if you're going through something and you need to give have somebody to talk to, just talking to a friend, a family member, that's going to be important too. But let's see. Wild Unknown, do you have any advice for group number 1 here? The golden egg group. What advice do you have for group number 1? Thank you. The reverse hermit. Okay. So our reverse hermit here, in terms of advice, group number 1, my golden egg group, is just to make sure that you are not isolating yourself as we're going through all this big energy here, right? This is big energy. This is like literally like, again, hitting rock bottom, right? We're like nothing's going right. Nothing is turning out maybe the way you want it to. So everything feels like it's really difficult and hard, but we need to make sure that we are not isolating ourselves. We're not going in our shell and just staying there and not taking care of ourselves. Maybe making sure we're not falling into that depression, anxious energy, and making sure that we are giving ourselves, again, all the self-care we need in order to work through this energy here. This is hard energy, group number 1. This is an energy lesson I've gone through myself as well, and one that it's like it takes a long time to work through, and it takes a long time to practice it in the right way and to make sure that you don't get more hurt in the situation, right? I've always been a highly empathetic person, right? And I would take care of others more than I would ever take care of myself. And I would hurt myself over and over again through situations where I wouldn't speak my truth, wouldn't let my voice be heard. So those were the spiritual wounds I was giving myself because I wasn't giving myself as much empathy as I was giving others, right? I was sticking in my shell here, not letting myself shine, not letting myself be the person I wanted to be, say the things I needed to say in order to make sure I was healing and taking care of myself just as much as I was doing for others, right? So our reverse hermit here is really just making sure that you connect with people, that you make sure that you are connected with friends and family and others that take care of you, that give you help, the help you need, or if you need actual like physical, like actual help, right? That you're getting the therapy you need, that you're getting the, you have the ability to talk to somebody as you're working through the pain, right? As you're working through these bigger things. There are people who can just help you in terms of like the emotions with like a psychiatrist, psychologist, a counselor, a mentor, those kinds of things. And then if we're talking about bigger spiritual energy, there are people who can guide you in that area as well. Me being one of them, if you feel called to, you can ask me to send me a message and I will help you out my best I can, because this is hard energy to go through, group number 1 with our golden egg here. So, but just make sure you don't isolate yourself. Make sure that you don't keep yourself hermited away. In this case, you need to make sure you're giving yourself the empathy you need, and that makes sure that's meaning that you're giving yourself the care and the attention you need through others and letting others care for you as well. Empathy, this big lesson of empathy, is making sure that you let others give you empathy as well, okay? You're giving yourself empathy, you're letting yourself receive empathy. And so you're giving empathy, you're giving yourself empathy, and then you're letting yourself receive empathy from others. Those are the 3, okay? So that's why this lesson is important here. That's why this is the big overall lesson to pay attention to, group number 1. So with our reverse hermit, just make sure that you are giving yourself that care you need, okay? So we got a lot of different energy out. Very interesting spread for sure, group number 1. When I was starting this spread or this reading in general, I just didn't know how this was going to pan out for everybody, how this was going to look in terms of spread for everyone. But I think this was very valuable information for what you need to know right now. So pay attention to that. Hopefully this resonated with you. Hopefully it made sense and gave you a little bit of insight for how to progress forward in your situation and what you're going through. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you in the next reading. Have a good one. Bye. Hello, group number 2, the Cosmic Egg group. So Cosmic Egg here in our Animal Spirit deck, it is actually the last card of the Animal Spirit deck. It is referring to the 7th chakra in the Animal Spirit deck. There are 7 spirit cards, and this is the last one of the 7 spirit cards for the Animal Spirit deck. And this card really encapsulates all 7 of the chakras. We definitely see that with the coloring here in the card. We have all the different colors here. And then our snake here representing Kundalini energy, which is definitely in that culture of the chakras and that system, and moving that energy up through the chakras or down through the chakras across the whole chakra field, encompassing all this energy. So our 7th chakra really focusing on, it's the crown chakra, really focusing on our connection to the divine, our higher spirit, our connection to that spirit energy, the universal energy, all that fun stuff, right? And our cosmic egg here, so what you need to know, group number 2, is that connection is always present, it's always around, and whatever you're kind of working through right now definitely is involving this energy at the moment, where you maybe are working in with your psychic gifts a lot more potentially, or you're discovering you have them, you're leveling up in those psychic gifts potentially here. But that connection to knowing you have a higher purpose, a higher calling, connecting with that higher purpose and calling, and living that through your daily life, right? Bringing that highly spiritual energy down into the mundane, into the everyday life, grounding it in the physical reality here. So our cosmic egg is a very interesting, fun card. It's a really beautiful card. I really enjoy all the colors in this one. But let us see what else you need to know today. We've got quite a few little decks here to interact with and connect with, so we'll pop that over here. So first one I want to get is a Soul's Journey card, and that's going to be the lesson that this is tied to, which you need to know what this is tied to. If you're looking at this over here, this is like a little piece of clay I'm playing with. It kind of helps with the channeling sometimes. So the Soul's Journey cards, what lesson is the cosmic egg tied to for group number 2, please? What lesson is this tied to? What lesson is the cosmic egg tied to that group number 2 needs to know? Oop. Whoa, way too many. Way too many. Okay, we're not going to take any of those, but I did notice death there was kind of popping out a little bit more. One's envy. Okay, clear communication, please. What does group 2 need to know? What lesson is the cosmic egg tied to for them? Okay. Perseverance, that is good to know, but we have judgments that fell on top of the card, so I'm going to take that one. So judgment. Focus, please. I understand that everyone has their own unique paths and challenges. Okay. So we are potentially comparing ourselves to others right now, others' spiritual journey, looking at what others are accomplishing or doing in their lives, and maybe feeling left behind or feel like we don't know what we're doing in that same regard. You can see the camera. That's funny. But we'll get a little bit closer there. Now, maybe other people know what they're doing versus we don't know what we're doing. Maybe we've come into adulthood finally, or we feel like we're an adult now, so we're just trying to figure that out, right? So we have a lot of judgment for maybe ourselves right now, or potentially others. Okie doke. Let's get some spirit cards now. So start with this one, the Work Your Light Oracle. Go. That shiny font there. These are both by Rebecca Campbell. Really good ones. So, okay. What does group number 2 need to know about right now? What is Cosmic Egg and Judgment referring to, or what can you give more clarity about for these? What does group number 2 need to know right now? Thank you. Okay, this one is Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? Okay, interesting. Now we'll get a Starseed Oracle. Okay. Starseed Oracle. Please give me a card for what group number 2 needs to know right now, if it's in regards to Cosmic Egg, Judgment, and Priestess, whatever you feel called for. What does group number 2 need to know right now? Thank you. This one's very happy. They're very happy to communicate today. Double mission. Lightworker, Starseed, serve the world by being you. Okay, yeah. So that initial judgment that I had on what you're feeling, group number 2, is so far panning out in the cards. Interesting. Okay. So last card I'll get out before I maybe get some tarot is I want to get an alchemy card here and kind of tie up what this energy is. So alchemy for group number 2 here. Cosmic Egg, Judgment, Priestess, Double Mission, all these cards out. Or if it's something else you need to say, what does group 2 need to know right now? What's group number 2 need to know right now? What's group number 2 need to know right now? I always have to like reset these cards after a point because they get hard to shuffle once they start turning around a lot. But what does group number 2 need to know right now, please? What's group number 2 need to know right now? I was thinking about it. Oh. Okay, we'll take that top card, Sulfur. Okay. It's all organized and back together. Okay, sulfur energy. I know a little bit about sulfur already, but the first thing that pops up for sulfur is definitely that smell. I know this card refers to the like hot springs and like geysers that have that sulfur in them, the movement of energy up and through when it gets stuck. So that's still going to be very relevant here. And it's also interesting the kind of differing varying colors we have a little bit here, right? We have a lot of purpley, pinky colors up here with the spirit cards. Red is kind of our down low. We got like an indigo kind of blue here. So let's see, all these cards here, group number 2, are definitely very relevant to what you're going through right now. They all do definitely tie in together. So let's get a little bit of a deeper look at everything now. So group number 2 here, we have what looks like actually decently clear energy to me, and it definitely ties into our cosmic egg here, right? So again, that cosmic egg connecting to our 7th chakra, that crown chakra, that higher purpose, that higher calling, connecting with the divine, that deeper spiritual energy, right? And our cards definitely align with this as well, right? So the priestess energy here, how are you being called to step up and lead? Really talking about being that person that is the first to do something, right? And that's definitely scary at the same time, right? Somebody who is a leader doesn't necessarily have to have all the answers, knows the perfect way forward, right? They're just the first one to actually move forward and try and do the thing that needs to get done, right? The first one to find a path in the first place. They don't have to know what the path is or know where they're going, but they're at least the first ones to start moving and moving forward, right? and then others will follow at that same point. And this ties in with our double mission over here with the light worker starseed, serve the world by being you, from the starseed oracle. The starseed oracle, of course, connecting with that starseed energy, that feeling of otherness that comes in, where the concept of starseed, if you don't know, is somebody who was actually like initially from a different planet and comes to Earth here to help elevate Earth and give light and light to Earth, and help raise the spiritual consciousness of the planet. And that starseed energy here, it's calling you to serve the world by being you, right? That's the phrasing on the bottom of this card here. Serve the world by being you. If it focused, though, that'd be great. There we go. We can read that. So in terms of the priestess energy too, and being the one to step up and lead, there is this inherent knowledge that is already present in you. Group number 2 is what this feels like, especially with this cosmic egg and being the one who chose the cosmic egg. This knowledge that you have this higher purpose, this higher calling, even if you might not know what it is, but just by purely the fact of you existing, you doing your thing and having this higher frequency of energy and light about you and everything, people are automatically drawn to that, and that allows you to work through with this energy and be the leader in a lot of ways. You just make sure that you are working with this energy in a healthy way, right? Not being ego driven, not getting sucked down the false false light, like crunchy, like rabbit hole, right? And everything, where it's like, okay, you're working with things because it makes the most sense, and you're not being judgmental of others who aren't in that same space. Judgment here. So this is a double-edged sword of judgment for sure, right? Where it's like, okay, you need to make sure you are not judging others who are not in the same space as you, right? The purpose is to help teach, to help others learn and grow and learn how to be in that space as well, right? We only help elevate and lead people, elevate that consciousness, help them learn these light traits by being non-judgmental, that they're not in that space in the first place, right? We have to make sure that we are not being judgmental when we're in this space and being this leader, priestess energy working on this mission here. And then the judgment energy on the flip side, that double-edged sword here, is making sure that we're not judging ourselves for not being in this energy all the time, right? It's like, okay, you look at others who know their goal, right? Who know what they're doing with themselves, who like, oh, you're like, they're succeeding in their mission, their life mission or whatever. Why am I not there? That's self-judgment, and we don't want to be doing that either, right? There is an energy here with sulfur where it's like that like next step leveling up almost is what it feels like, right? Sulfur, and as I was talking about like the geysers, sulfur is in the book, what it refers to itself as gross beauty, right? Sulfur being that really smelly, like rotten eggs kind of smell, but at the same time having many good therapeutic benefits for our bodies, right? That hot springs, right? That mineral bath that gives a lot of healing benefits to the body, but at the same time it kind of stinks to sit in and smell, right? And that sulfur energy builds up and builds pressure in those geysers, right? And then eventually it explodes out because that pressure gets too great and has to force its way out. But that energy also, especially coming out of the red here, which is our root chakra, that grounding like base chakra here at the bottom, forces that energy up and out and through the rest of the chakras up to the crown. And that's kind of what it's feeling, where it's like there's something lurking at the bottom here, that's something at the very bottom, like our very core in terms of survival and just trying to make it day to day, that forces its way up all the way through to like a high level spiritual lesson here with the priestess energy and our double mission, and of course the cosmic egg as well. So there is something here we're going on, like a leveling up lesson is what it feels like, group number 2, for what you need to know. And this ties in, of course, with our lesson of judgment, because this is what the overall picture is, right? So we're working on the lesson of judgment. And again, with it being that double-edged sword, right? So it's like making sure you come to this realization where we pull the ego out of it, right? So we pull the ego outwards, and this is that sulfur energy moving through, where it's like, okay, no, that makes sense. We don't need to judge others. We shouldn't judge others if we're trying to be this priestess energy and lead them. Priestess energy. We shouldn't be the one to judge people, because everybody at the end of the day came to this planet, dark planet of insanity that is Earth, and is trying to learn things and grow and elevate themselves spiritually as well. That is literally everybody's purpose on this planet, pretty much. And everybody is accomplishing that goal in their own way, right? So we cannot judge somebody if it doesn't look like it from the outside that they're accomplishing things in the way we think they should be doing it, right? The way we think it makes the most sense. That is judgment at its negative. I guess, I don't know, judgment. Usually a lot of these like lesson cards have like a light and shadow aspect to it. So it's interesting to look at judgment trying to figure out a judgment in a light way, but definitely, of course, we have it in our more negative aspects. But everyone has their own unique paths and challenges, right? So you're looking at somebody's life from the outside. You're not the one living their life, feeling their emotions, thinking their thoughts. So you can't be a judge of what they're doing and why it doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to you because you have different life experiences and thoughts and feelings about the matter, right? Something you've gone through. You can only lead people and offer advice and offer empathy and like overall just like positive energy for them to use and process with. You can tell people, like, offer people knowledge where it's like, okay, hey, when I was in this situation, this is what I did, this is what worked for me. But you should never tell people what to do. You should never be the one to be like, you should do this, like, you need to do this, this is why are you doing this, that is sucky, it's not the thing you should do, and judge them for it, right? Because everybody at the end of the day is just trying to do their best. Everybody at the end of the day is just trying to do the thing that works the best for them at the time with the knowledge that they have, right? So you just focusing on yourself, focusing on what you need to do, focusing on your purpose, your goals, and everything is what you do to fulfill your mission. This double mission here is a collective mission and an individual mission. The collective mission is probably what you're judging yourself on with the self-judgment, where you don't know what your path is, you don't know what your goal is, you don't know what your purpose is, but you can still be fulfilling your individual mission of learning new things, growing yourself, challenging yourself with new opportunities, being around different people so you get different perspectives and learn different things at the same time, and forcing yourself into that uncomfortableness, right? This kind of like grossness of the sulfur here, that gross beauty, quote, quote, gross. Forcing yourself into those uncomfortable places to challenge yourself is what's going to help push this energy up and out into a very higher level positive energy, helping you raise yourself to that next level, the cosmic egg over here, okay? So let us get some advice now for you, group number 2. I'll pull a card from my Wild Unknown Tarot so we can see. So Wild Unknown Tarot for group number 2 here, with all these cards out on the table. What advice can you give them? Okay, thank you. Okay, so, there's 2 cards here. The Moon and the Magician. Okay, so the Magician energy, that is definitely creating our own reality. That ties in very heavily here with our Priestess energy, and I put it on the Priestess card as well. So Priestess. The Magician energy being the manifestor, the creator of our reality, and making sure that knowing that you have this ability and this power, right? The power to lead, but a good leader does not judge. And we need to make sure at the same time with the Moon energy here that we are aware of those deeper secretive aspects of ourselves. The Moon is like our hidden things, that intuition. It can be that secretive, mean kind of thing sometimes too. That is that judgment energy that can pop in with the Moon here. So we need to be aware of that. We need to be aware of our bias, where we're judgmental of people, where we can potentially be negative and harmful to others because we are being judgmental of them, right? But we can also judge silently and look at that. It's a human nature at the end of the day, right? So you have those first thoughts that pop into your head, but you can also not take those to heart. You cannot give those any merit or value and discard them, right? It might be the initial thought, but we don't have to put any energy into that thought. We can discard that energy, okay? So our Moon energy is really making sure here, and with the Magician tied into it, really, we're making sure that we know that we have the power and the creative ability to lead and work on our mission here, find our purpose, but to make sure that we are aware of what's hidden inside of ourselves here with the Moon energy, that we are aware of our deeper feelings and emotions and what our intuition is telling us to do in a situation. So that's the positive side. And then the negative side, knowing our darker aspects, right? That shadow side of the Moon, the dark side of the Moon. We are aware of what we are less positive traits, that we maybe are judgmental, that we are controlling, that we are prone to certain things, right? We are prone to more of these negative aspects. By being aware of these things, then we can work around them, improve them, and really work in a positive, healthy, light way, okay? So group number 2, that's what I have for you, Cosmic Egg Energy. You're working at a very high level lesson at this point, right? This lesson of judgment is a very interesting one. So keep all this in mind. Okay, group number 2, this is going to be very good energy for you. Once you work past this lesson, you're going to have a lot of positive energy working with you and coming through you, and being this strong leader in the long run that is going to give a lot of purpose and help to others. You just need to make sure that you're doing it in the right way, okay? So keep all this in mind, group number 2. I hope this reading resonated with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Hello, group number 3, the black egg group. So black egg here is tied to the throat chakra, which is our 5th chakra. And that 5th chakra there, that throat chakra, really talks about speaking our truth, being able to speak of the truth, right? Knowing what our truth is and being able to communicate that. So the communication that needs to happen with the throat chakra is very interesting, where there is the need to obviously know what our truth is in the first place, right? So that involves the chakra before it, our heart chakra, our purpose, our feelings, that deep intuition, that deeper inner knowing, and then being able to speak that truth out loud, right? There's a very important level to being able to speak our truth and know what that is at the same time. And the speaking of the truth here is important because that is how we express things externally. There are lots of ways to communicate and have this energy, right? They're journaling, talking to a video, kind of like what I'm doing now, except in like kind of a journaling way, talking to friends, family, therapists, whatever it is. And then there's also that just outward expression and communication in lots of different means, right? We have the means through social media now. We have means through writing and reading. There's so many different ways to speak this truth. And the black egg energy here is the energy of making sure to do that in a healthy way, in a productive way. I want to double check here. And this is one of the our spirit cards in the animal spirit deck, right? So there is the energy here of subtleness as well, and making sure everything is like balanced. Because ultimately what black egg and in the spiritual context for the spiritual cards, the spirit cards in the animal spirit deck, is knowing what that truth is. Oh, that's so cool. The egg almost looks like 3D here. But speaking that inner truth, right? Making sure that we are in communication with ourselves with that inner truth, and then being able to communicate that inner truth outward as well. So with this black egg here, I'm going to pop it over here. Let us see what this lesson is a part of, like what this is a part of at a bigger level here. So we got our Soul's Journey cards. I want to see what lesson is involved with this energy here for you, group number 3. So Soul's Journey card with the black egg here. What lesson is taking place for group number 3? What does group 3 need to know? What lesson is this a part of? What lesson is this a part of? Lots of lessons, but what lesson is the black egg a part of for group number 3? Thank you. Okay. That is, envy. Interesting. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Okay. So I'll talk about that in a moment. I want to get the other cards out first before we really dive into that lesson. So I'm going to pull a card from the Work Your Light Oracle deck here by Rebecca Campbell. One of 2 decks we're going to use from her today. Okay. Work Your Light Oracle. In regards to the black egg and envy, what does group 3 need to know right now? What does group 3 need to know? Group 3 need to know. Thank you. Okay. That is answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Okay. Now I'll get a card from the Starseed Oracle, also by Rebecca Campbell. Okay. Oh, the card's just chilling. Okay, Starseed Oracle. What does group 3 need to know, please, with the cards out? What does group 3 need to know? Oh, top card? No, too many. Okay. There we go, thank you. The Golden Children, inner child, tenderness, innocence, rare gifts. Okay. So then finally, let me pull an alchemy card here just to see a little bit more deeper into this energy. Okay, alchemy deck with black egg out, envy, the answer the call, and the golden children. What does group 3 need to know, please? Does group 3 need to know with this energy that's out? What else does group 3 need to know? Too many. Okay, there we go. Thank you. The Drowned King. Okay. Interesting. So, there we go. Let's get this all kind of in spread now in view. And let's get a little bit deeper look at everything here, group number 3. So group number 3, this is a very interesting spread for sure, right? So we have the black egg, we have envy, answer the call, the golden children, and the drowned king here. And all of this is painting a picture of, to me, what it looks like and what it feels like is something's not going the way you wanted it to go. It's not going the way you thought it was going to go. And this envy energy is the lesson we're learning, right? It's the overall picture, the overall lesson. And we're looking at somebody else's life or something that we desire, somebody who has the thing we desire, right? And we're envious of them. We're trying to emulate them. We're trying to be like them because we think they have what we want, right? And what really is going on here is that everybody's on their own journey, on their own path. And everybody's trying to figure out what this call is in themselves, what their soul's being called to do, right? There is lots of newer age people coming in, like new souls coming in, like these golden children here that are helping elevate the energy of the planet and bring in all this new positive energy, right? But what's going on for you, group number 3, right? What you need to know right now is where you're not listening to that call, you're not listening and speaking your inner truth here, right? You're letting ego get in the way, it feels like. You're letting that fear get in the way of what you're actually trying to accomplish, what you're actually trying to do and take care of. And you're masking it with like paying attention to other people and the envy of others. And that's what this drowned king is talking about here, right? The drowned king is talking about pretty much the drowning of the ego. This king energy in its negative can be very tyrannical, can be very controlling. And that's that shadow side. But where the drowned king comes in is it being drowned and dissolved in the water and these deeper emotions coming back up. A new version of themselves that is that benevolent king that's sharing that energy, being very generous and benevolent and calm and peaceful, right? The actual king in the positive way is not one that is envious of others, knows their own strength, knows what they have to offer, and has answered this call already, knows what their purpose is, and has no need to be envious of others because they're always speaking their truth here, know what their truth is. So the process, what it feels like you're going through here, group number 3, and sorry to kind of be blunt and call out a little bit here. It can be hard to hear sometimes, right? But there is a need here to really pay attention to actually your deeper emotions and to kind of dissect a little bit here, right? The golden children here is talking about this love and self-care you need to have for yourself to dive in deeper with this drowned king energy right here, these spots of gold popping in here and that golden energy from the golden children, and really figure out who you are at the core and let all the rest dissolve away. Let all the rest go away, because ultimately at the end of the day, you have to do what you're supposed to do. You need to answer whatever this call is that you may be ignoring. The answer to the call comes in usually when we are not paying attention to what the call actually is. We're not paying attention or trying to purposely ignore what the universe is trying to do, right? So whatever this is in your life, it's something that's kind of popping up over and over and over again for you. It's something where it's like, you're like, why won't that go away? Like, why does this keep popping up? Like, if maybe it's the same symbol over and over again, like a certain type of animal, or it's like you keep getting offered the same type of job over and over again, because this is the universe trying to get you to answer this call. It's trying to be like, hey, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. This is what we're trying to get you to do. This is what your actual purpose is. This is the bigger thing. So whatever you've noticed in your life, that you're either purposely ignoring or have ignorance about, that you've seen pop up over and over again, and you're going like, oh, hey, that's kind of weird, that's happened before, oh, I've seen that before. If it keeps happening over and over and over again, that's the universe trying to get your attention here, right? But it's bogged down by all this other energy, this lesson of envy here that's popping up, where it's like you're really too focused on what other people have, what you're trying to get at the end of the day, right? You can, all the prosperous and physical means and all those things come much more easy when we are answering in this call, when we are taking care of ourselves at a deep level with this tenderness, tending to our inner child, really taking care of it and honoring these special gifts, these rare gifts that pop up with the golden children as well. This energy that we have where it's like, okay, hey, this is what's actually important. This is the deep call of my soul at the end of the day. And it takes this drowned king energy, this drowning of ego pretty much, in order to get through this lesson, to accomplish this thing that we're trying to actually do at the end of the day, right? We're envious of others, or have this envy of where others are in their lives, because we don't feel like we're at that same place, right? We don't feel like we are accomplishing the same things they're accomplishing, well, that we are in the place in life that we should be at the point we think we should be, right? All these societal expectations that are popping up, that we should be, have this special, like that big career by a certain point in our life, making this much money, with the married to a partner and with kids and blah, 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 all these steps in life that we think we should be matching, that are societal expectations, and envious of others that are already in that space. And we don't need to be, right? The answering of the call is not going to be the same for everybody. We don't want to be envious of everybody else's life, because their life looks so much different, right? And the struggles they go through are also very, very different than what you may be going through. And those are maybe ones you wouldn't want to change for, right? That person is in a maybe looks like they're in a much better financial position than you, but they had to go through a lot of trauma in their childhood, maybe that you didn't have to go through, right? And would you, at the end of the day, want to go through that same thing in order to achieve the same thing? It's going to be up to, it's not going to be as good as maybe you think it is, right? On that surface level, that like visual up from the top, that visual, you're just seeing things from the outside, versus that person maybe goes through a lot of anxiety and depression on the inside, and had lots of mental health issues, and you didn't have those same struggles, right? So it's not productive to be envious of somebody else's situation, because you don't know fully what their situation is at the end of the day. You're just seeing the high level surface things, what is presented on social media, what the image they are curating for others to see. And you don't actually know what's going on at a deeper level. And your journey is going to be ultimately different than theirs anyway, right? Your truth, what you're actually speaking, what your purpose is, what you need to know about yourself is going to be ultimately different than theirs, right? You maybe are at a behind in your view right now, but you go through this lesson, right? You get through this purpose and answer the call, and all of a sudden you are miles ahead of where you thought you were going to be in the next year, potentially, right? The time is not real at the end of the day, and can change very rapidly. It can feel like it's really passes by really fast. It can feel like it can pass really slow. It can change so much, and so many things can change so fast in such a short amount of time without you even thinking and realizing it. But when we're following this bigger path, this answering the call at a bigger level here, and going through this process of the drowned king, we come out with a situation with much more knowledge at a higher level, working at a higher level energetically, that can manifest things that much more rapidly than before. So things can change in a blink of an eye, right? Sorry, I just need to take a breath here, where it's like, oh, this definitely feeling that energy of the throat chakra here at the black egg, where just like all these words are coming out very rapidly, and I even feel like tension in my throat just trying to talk about these things, right? So there is a blockage here, it feels like, for speaking the truth, speaking the things you need to talk about, like actually like having an outlet for these deeper emotions that you're feeling, right? This drowned king energy, where it's like, okay, hey, this like drowning's not fun at the end of the day, right? Then the drowned king energy from the alchemy card here is a needed process to go through. It's something we have to go through in order to change and transform and level up to this next step into this bigger purpose here. But it's not fun at the end of the day. It's not an energy that we enjoy going through at the end of the day either. So being able to talk about this, being able to express what you need to express, that's all this blue energy, right? This water, these emotions, these deeper feelings, being able to express what you need at the end of the day is going to be beneficial in order to express this black egg energy. And then who knows, you expressing this is maybe makes you the envy of other people, right? Those same people that you're envious of for where they are in their life, maybe they're envious of you because you can express your truth and talk about the things you need to talk about, and they don't feel like they can, right? Everybody can be envious of each other if we try. So there's no point in actually being in this energy and taking it, because you are, like the card says, I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Everybody is on the same ocean fighting the same storm, right? But everybody has different resources and means at their disposal. So it can affect everybody differently at the end of the day. So let's get an advice card now from the Wild Unknown Tarot and see what's going to be beneficial for you, group number 3, what you need to know. Wild Unknown Tarot for group number 3 here with all the energy out, our Black Egg group. What advice do you have for them? What do they need to know? Can I get one card, please? Just one. One card, please. Black Egg, what does group 3 need to know? Thank you. It slides underneath here. Reverse 10 of Swords. That's a hard one. Okay. I like when that one's in the reverse, though, because that is a little bit more beneficial energy to be in. Reverse 10 of Swords energy here, group number 3, is talking about letting go of the pain, right? So what we have been hurting about, right? Whatever we're not answering the call because of whatever pain or trauma or situation we've been through that's holding us back. 10 of Swords is really asking you to, again, take a deeper look at that, but to actually start working on that process of letting it go, right? We want to take these swords out. This is such a bleak card, actually, right? It's a very harsh, strong card. All these swords in, there's lots of pain here for sure. But there is a process here of starting to move on, work through it, and change things for the better, right? Again, we come back to this lesson of the Black Egg here and actually speaking our truth, speaking about that pain potentially, right? Speaking about the situations we've gone through in order to actually let it start healing and processing. And this works towards our bigger lesson, right? Of answering the call, tending to ourselves, working with our inner child and those rare gifts we have. But it's not helpful for you to be envious of others, maybe who haven't gone through the same pain you have, right? Again, you don't know the pain they have gone through. You're just seeing what you are perceiving on the outside for what they've gone through, what their situation is. That's something you're just perceiving from the outside, and you don't actually know this internal process. Maybe it's very similar, actually. Maybe they gone through something similar and you don't know about, and you're being envious for no reason. And by you speaking your truth and speaking about the pains of these situations here, that's actually going to be beneficial and allows people to connect with you at a deeper level. Connect with you brings in this connection, this community, and you speaking your truth, speaking about this pain here, right? Maybe that's you answering this call here. Maybe that's actually answering the call that is presented to you, answering the call of the immediate, where it's like, okay, hey, this is the sucky thing I've been through. And then all of a sudden you're going to see lots of people come out of the woodwork and be like, hey, I've been through that same thing. I'm glad somebody understands. I'm glad somebody knows what this is. I'm glad somebody's feels the same way I have, even though the feelings suck. But then you can commiserate together for a little bit, but then actually start the healing process as well. There is just a drowning of the ego that needs to happen in order to build up to this process, right? To be able to know that this is a valuable thing to be able to do here with the Drowned King and the reverse 10 of Swords, okay? So group number 3, lots of hard energy here for sure. Sorry if you felt like a little bit called out here, but that's just the energy that is present and showing up right now. The lesson of envy is a difficult one. 10 of Swords, difficult energy for sure. Drowned King, difficult energy. There's lots of hard energy here that you're processing and going through, but just take the time you need to actually process and talk about it, right? It's the communication of what this is going to be super beneficial for you with the Black Egg energy at the top as your overall energy. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. This is all I have for you, and I will see you in the next reading. Have a good one. Bye.